Welcome back to the sanctuary of storytelling, the corner of the internet where we refuse the shallow scroll and choose, instead, to look directly into the pulse of the human heart. You are watching Turkish Spotlight Secrets, the place where celebrity tales are treated with the care of literature and the curiosity of a documentary lens. If you have been searching for a home where the noise is filtered and the truth is pursued with tenderness and tenacity, you are in the right place. Today, we are not just tugging at a rumor. We are stepping into the eye of a storm that has gathered quietly, then suddenly illuminated the sky. The question that has followed fans for months, maybe years, is back with a thunderclap. Could Ozan Akbaba and Sinem Ünsal, two names carved into the modern lore of Turkish television, have chosen each other not in a role, not in a carefully framed photograph, but in the unguarded reality of life? The latest whispers insist the answer has already been spoken. We are talking about a ceremony, not announced but sealed, a pledge not performed but lived, a union gently tucked into the American night where microphones cannot trespass. The story is simple and staggering all at once, the possibility that two of the most watched people in our world executed the oldest magic in show business, the vanishing act, until the vows were done. Before we cross oceans, anchor yourself to this community. Hit subscribe right now and ring the bell so you never miss a heartbeat of the truth. If you are moved by independent, thoughtful coverage and want access to members-only theories and badges, consider tapping that join button. Your support is our armor, the reason we can tell stories the way they deserve to be told. Breathe in. We're boarding a flight in search of the quiet answer behind the loudest rumor of the year. A rumor that changed everything. The hush has cracked. The internet's pulse has quickened. Today's discussion isn't reheated speculation or nostalgia for narratives that faded months ago. This is new oxygen, a fresh wind rising from corners of the industry known for talking softly and knowing much. The murmur is steady, patient, and unnervingly consistent. Ozan and Sinem have allegedly married in a private ceremony in the United States. Let that rest on your ribs for a moment. Not someday, not as a proposal, not as a hypothetical headline engineered for clicks. Done. Completed. Shared with a handful and concealed from the multitude. Not fanfiction. Not projection. Every angle we examine suggests intentionality, an event crafted with meticulous care, held far from the bright alleys of Istanbul where cameras wait like moths for flame. If true, it is exactly in line with what we have learned about how they guard their inner lives. In an era where oversharing is the default, privacy is the crown jewel, and for two faces recognizable from Rome airport lounges to late-night coffees in Berlin, discretion is the rarest luxury of all. The context of giants, why this matters. To understand why the rumor rattled the internet, you must remember the scale of the names involved. Ozan Akbaba and Sinem Ünsal are not only known, they are felt. Ozan's gravitas, the quiet steadiness he wears like a tailored suit, and Sinem's luminous poise, the kind that warms a room before she says a word, their energies, when placed near each other, have often made audiences lean in without realizing it. They did not build their reputations on marketing campaigns alone. They built them on a recognizable honesty, on glances that speak without permission, on a grace that survives scrutiny. Every time they shared a stage, a charity gala, an interview panel, any shared frame, the signal traveled farther than subtitles ever could. Fans wanted the on-screen sparkle of proximity to outlast the cameras. They wondered if reality would someday join the fantasy. If these whispers are rooted in fact, that yearning may have shifted from hope to the soft power of a vow, spoken far from the buzzing corridors of home. Why the United States? Why so far away? And why so silent? Because distance can become a fortress for the famous. Because an ocean can muffle the chorus that follows your name. Because some words deserve to be said without an audience counting each breath. This does not feel like PR theater. It feels like sanctuary. The choice reads like a thesis, that love is a candle, and the wind must be controlled if the light is to survive. America, with its sprawl and indifference, with cities that let you vanish into the tide of everyday people, offers a rare kind of camouflage. In New York, anonymity can be rented by the hour. In California, the coastline keeps secrets better than most humans. In the desert, silence is not a posture, it is a landscape. The decision hints at two artists choosing a ceremony for themselves, not a spectacle for everyone else, ensuring the most vital words were heard only by the hearts that spoke them. A question for the Turkish Spotlight Secrets community. If the cameras hunted you, if strangers thought they owned a piece of your story, would you choose a palace wedding with 3,000 eyes, or would you cross the world to whisper your promises where only the horizon was listening? Does love require applause, or does it grow best when sheltered from the storm? Share your philosophy in the comments, and tap that like button if this deep dive is your kind of oxygen. It tells the algorithm that Turkish Spotlight Secrets is where nuance lives. The circle of trust. Consider the logistics. In a decade where every guest holds a 4K lens in their palm and every street corner blinks with surveillance, orchestrating a wedding in America without a premature breadcrumb is nothing short of astonishing. This kind of secrecy requires engineering, timelines precisely measured, travel plans woven like a labyrinth, and above all, a circle of trust that does not leak. Whoever stood with them, parents, old friends, the manager who knows when to leave a room, wasn't just attending. They were guarding. That transforms the evening from a ceremony into a covenant honored by many. It speaks of loyalty that resists the glittering lure of a quick headline. It suggests that Ozan and Sinem have built a tribe that understands one truth: not everything should be fed to the marketplace. Some things are too sacred to sell. Where did it happen? America is too large for a single picture, and the absence of a press release leaves us with a map and a question. Imagine Malibu, where cliffs cup the horizon and the sea rehearses lullabies no one can record. Picture vows spoken with salt air as witness, a guitar softly strummed. Ozan has never hidden his love for music, while Sinem's eyes hold the kind of calm that makes a person forget the rest of the planet exists. Or visualize New York, where a rooftop garden could hold two people aloft while the city hums below, indifferent, and therefore merciful. Maybe it was a tiny chapel in the desert, an hour outside Las Vegas or tucked somewhere in Arizona, where the sky dilates and the land reduces you to your truest size, so the promise stands out like a star. Wherever it was, that place is now a private landmark, a secret pinned on their shared map. A fandom vindication. The online reaction felt like an aftershock rolling through a community that has been patient and relentless in equal measure. Overnight, fans turned into archivists, investigators, poets. Flight logs were scrutinized, interviews were replayed for conciliatory smiles. A photo with a stray bouquet. A caption with an extra comma. A silence that lasted 2 days longer than expected. The energy was a blend of relief and vindication. For so long, those who believed in Ozan and Sinem's bond defended it against the tidy argument that everything we see is just a promotional current. If this marriage truly occurred, quiet, deliberate, dignified, it is the most graceful rebuttal imaginable. While the chorus debated authenticity, they were building a life that doesn't require a committee to be real. The hush was not emptiness, it was construction. A mature narrative. There are professional echoes to consider. When two luminous figures choose each other, the industry recalibrates. Do producers race to pair them on screen, chasing the real-life chemistry audiences crave? Or do they give the couple breathing room in their separate projects, preserving the mystery while their private life remains private? Either path adds weight to their public chapters. Ozan is no longer just the magnetic lead with a stare that can stop a scene. Sinem is not only the radiance that shades every frame she inhabits. If reports are true, they are also partners who have learned to hold hands in a hurricane without letting go. That deepens their brands, if we must use that word. It attaches steadiness, maturity, a kind of rootedness that outlasts trends and billboards. Reclaiming the story. Strip away the casting charts and the brand deals, and what remains is small and irreplaceable. Two people choosing themselves over the spectacle. By declining the circus and refusing the crown of Wedding of the Year, Ozan and Sinem may have done something quietly revolutionary. They reclaimed their narrative from the public square. They reminded us that meaning does not require confetti, that love does not have to perform to be profound. Sometimes the most important choices whisper. They close a door. They share a breath and exchange a promise no crowd could ever really understand. A photo, a note, a truth. Now we wait in the tremble between rumor and confirmation. Perhaps, one day soon, a black and white photo will appear. Sinem's hand resting against a jacket lapel, a ring catching stray afternoon light, Ozan's smile the kind that only exists when no one is watching. Maybe a joint statement will arrive from the representatives who have always carried their public voices with care. Until then, the loveliest possibility remains, that in a world of noise, two people found each other, resisted the pressure to narrate every step, and chose yes. They stepped off the parade route, latched the world outside for a while, and made a promise that needs no audience to hold its shape. The legacy of Ozan and Sinem. For longtime followers, the evolving connection between these two has always felt like a story rewriting itself in real time, unplanned glances at awards nights, unexpected ease in interviews, the visible comfort of two professionals who look like they've met at the intersection of destiny and timing. If this latest chapter is real, then the secret ceremony in America may be the brightest sentence yet. It would be a love letter to privacy and a reminder that the best parts of life are not designed for streaming. Consider the timing, schedules that crisscross continents, sets that demand 12-hour days, press tours that ask you to be 3 versions of yourself before breakfast. Ozan's commitments across Turkey and festivals abroad, Sinem's slate of series and cinema. 2 lives that rarely pause at the same moment. Perhaps the United States wasn't just distance, it was symbolism, a neutral ground where their names echo less fiercely, allowing the vows to ring clearer. The silence speaks. Not every love story requires trumpets. Sometimes it's 2 people under baseball caps at an airport gate, sharing headphones and watching the wind cut the sky into ribbons. Sometimes it's a room so small the echo of vows only reaches the 4 corners and nowhere beyond. Sometimes it is a secret that will be told when it's ready, not when the crowd is hungry. So we wait, not with impatience but with respect. Perhaps there's a hotel room somewhere with a bouquet drying in the corner, a dress hanging like captured sunlight, a suit jacket softening over the back of a chair, holding the crease of a moment that will not fade. We will be here the second a confirmation lands. Until then, we honor the mystery they have earned. Before you go, one request. If you believe in the power of private love, share this video. Help shift the conversation from intrusion to reverence. Subscribe to Turkish Spotlight Secrets, explore the description for exclusive links, and join our member circle for behind-the-scenes analysis you won't find anywhere else. When the next chapter writes itself, our eyes will be on the horizon, and we'll be right here, ready to read it together. This has been Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Thank you for watching.